That was a song, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right? I want to have it my way. Right? I desperately want to get control. Right? David Foreman says very beautifully, what was the original sin in the Garden of Eden?
I could do what I want.
At its core, what was it?
Control.
I'm in control. Right? You're not going to tell me what I can or can't eat. I'm in control. Right? And what was the result of that? Out of Gan Eden, b'zeit apecha tochal lechem. From the sweat of your brow you will eat lechem, bread. What is bread? Bread is something that we create. We take we take the wheat and we ground it up, right? And we sift it and we add water and we bake it, right? That's what it is, right? You want control? Okay. So you have to sweat. With the sweat of your brow, you'll make that bread. Right? You want control? And then we left Egypt. Right? We say, Lechtech acharai bamidbar be'eretz lo zruah. We left Egypt and we put our faith completely onto God. Right? We know what's, when we had kids traveling with kids, how much you had to bring along? They're traveling out there with nothing. Hashem's going to take care of us. But then there is that desire, that rebellion of sorts, that I don't want to be reliant on anyone else. I don't even want to be reliant on Hashem. I want control. I want control. And that's what happened. Therefore, even the man, what would they do? Right? The man, I've got to control it. I'll ground it. I'll pound it. I'll cook it. I'll bake it. And from here on, the book of Bamidbar has its challenges. The next Parsha, I won't be here next week. I'll be in Israel. I won't be here next Tuesday morning. Shlach. What was Shlach? Sending the spies, coming back with the report about Israel. All of a sudden, they're not going to make it into Israel. I'll be back. I'm coming back Monday night, so we'll meet that Tuesday morning to encounter Korach. Korach is all-out rebellion, right? That is the downturn. Those middle two verses, that is the fulcrum. That's the turning point. When we recognize Vayihi ben Soa Aaron, Vayomer Moshe, Kum Hashem, Uvenucha Yomar, if we realize that we're always traveling with God, then we're able to get back to that sense of serenity, right? It's two sides of it. It's God's taking care of me, but I've got to surrender my control, right? So, how am I viewing that? Am I viewing that in what I like to call the all-state hands, right? Nothing beats that. That's the first half of Bamidbar. But I don't want to be held. I want to walk. I want to flex my own muscles. I want to be in control. Right? And the midpoint of that is Vayihi ben So'aron Uvenucha Yomar. Right? Where do we put ourselves in that balance, in that challenge? And like I said, that's something that we all are constantly contending with. Right? Is it my world? Is it God's world? Do I do what I want? Or are there certain parameters that, right? Is it my world or am I a guest? Right? In my house, I do whatever I want. In your house, I follow your rules. I can't do whatever I want. Right? And that's the constant struggle that we need, that we have. Now, we need to make our efforts. We need to make our efforts. We don't sit back and say, God, send me the man. We're not living in that world anymore. But do we recognize that the success that we have is a gift from God? Because there are many people who are as intelligent and as talented as us who are struggling mightily. And we have what we have. So we make our efforts, we do our jobs, we do what we do, but do we recognize that this is a gift that we have? That we are not the owners here. We are the guests, right? And we need to very often surrender control and recognize that we're not the ones that are driving, and we are where we're supposed to be. And it's Admat Kodesh, and let's make the best of our situations that we each find ourselves in, because like we said before, everyone is Admat Kodesh, is holy ground. But this is the struggle that they had. You know, it's easy to sit back and say, oh, what's the matter with them? Why do they complain so much? But as always, just turn that spotlight onto ourselves. And we see that we have the same struggles, often make the same mistakes, and hopefully also make the right strong decisions when we are faced with those struggles. Not so distant from us at all. It's not what's wrong with them, but let me see. You know, always when there's a straw man, it's easier to see the mistake in yourself, right? When Natan the Navi, the prophet, came to King David after David had taken Bathsheba, he didn't say to him, why did you do that? He gave him a whole parable. A wealthy person with large flocks and a poor person has one sheep, and the wealthy person came to the poor person and took the one sheep that he had, and David said, that's terrible, that's disgusting, right? Oh, once you hear it about someone else, then he was able to hear it when Natan said, that's you. That's you. And a lot of these events of the Torah that we look at and say, what's wrong with them? What's wrong with Paro? Yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. His back's against the wall, yes, otherwise no. Well, how about us? Right? When our back's against the wall, yes, and otherwise, right? Complacency. We need to turn the mirror on ourselves and see how it applies to us and how we can improve as we wend our way through this gift of life. Okay, my friends, we'll call it over here.
Thank you.
Could
Yes.
you tell us a little bit more about the meaning of between the two nuns, the sixth book of the Torah?